Hi, this is Chandan from Twig. In this session, I'll talk about Twig and expert agents and what that means. When we started Twig, our goal was to empower 100,000 expert agents in the next couple of years. What does it mean when we say expert agents? Take an example. If Palo Alto Medical Foundation or Kaiser Permanente is hiring somebody on the dental team, they can afford to hire an intern, couple them up with an experienced person, train them for 6 months to a year, and then hope that they'll be productive after that. However, when Smile Dental down the street needs to hire a person, they cannot afford to do that. They will have to hire someone with experience in the dental space. Take for an example, Sarah. So here, Sarah has 3 years of experience in dental front offices. She is dependable on day one, no training needed. She knows the vocabulary, she knows what Invisalign means, what's abscess, what's a shooting pain, what's a crown. She knows all of this. She knows the workflows, the best practices, the playbooks, and what to be aware of. Because Sarah is already an expert in the dental front office, she can be employed by a small team of 3 to 5 dental practitioners and be productive on day one. When it comes to agents or AI agents, this is exactly what small businesses need. They cannot take an agent builder and start building them. If they do it, they will fail. If your team does it, you will never turn a profit. What you need is the ability to create these expert agents that small businesses can turn on, start using with little to no effort. So, what does it mean to be an expert? You need to have the vocabulary, you need to know the workflows, you need to know the different blocks that need to handle. Think of it as mini workflows. You need to know the integrations and the evals. And this, if it can be created and managed by non engineering folks, then you have the best dental practice agent, the best med spa agent, the best optometry agent, the best chiropractor agent. And this is what we mean by expert agents. You build a platform where expert agents exist, and small businesses hire these agents for a price that they pay every month. They benefit from it out of the box, and that's how you sell to small businesses. Let us see how this works in practice. So this is Twig, and we have a few of these packages up here. We have a veterinary package, we have a dental front office package, an AI SDR, your basic conversion agent, a mortgage package, and so on. And if you look at these packages, what's in it? There is a listing page which looks like an iPhone app listing page, and when you edit it, there is the listing and the actual editor. So let's take an example. This is an agent that has these packages. We have built something called an agent scripting language. So let's talk about that. So what makes this happen? We have built a language called an agent scripting language. This has the objective, the vocabulary, the blocks, the tests built in. Why do this? Now, as the agent gets more and more complex, your prompt gets larger and larger. And eventually, you have a very large prompt that you are feeding to a large model, because a small model will hallucinate. And the large prompt plus the large model makes the outcome non-deterministic, which means the agent will do different things at different times for the same conditions. Second, when you're working on voice, larger models means longer response times, and so the user experience is going to be bad. So how does it work with an ASL? An ASL is not run by the LLM. It is actually run by an ASL engine first. The ASL engine looks at what state do I have, what are the blocks that are applicable, and it will strip away everything that is not relevant given the information we know. It will only take the conditions that we know and then it will use a small model to triage the information that we just received with the conditions that we know exist. This does two things. A, we are using a small model with a very small set of possible conditions, and so the output is deterministic. Second, because you're using a small model, it's cheaper and it's faster. And eventually you can even self-host these models, because small models can be self-hosted. This combination of a ASL, which is a ability to define agent behavior programmatically, and the ability to run them in an engine that you own, allows for creating production grade agent behaviors which run fast. What's more important, we have spent the last 20 years learning engineering best practices, and GitHub like practices allows multiple people on the team to write code at the same time. Same theory needs to apply to agents as well. So with Twig, you can have multiple people work on the same ASL. Because it is text, we have a Git-like editor where this is managed. So let's look at that. So this is, you see the visual description of this ASL, right? Let's take another one. Let's take this. You click on Edit ASL. So this is the ASL. It has the objective, it has the context, it has the vocabulary. The context can be ingested in runtime. It has the vocabulary, it has the state, and it has the blocks. One thing you would see is the blocks are not telling how to ask for information. They're just saying, I need this information. And the state has these different values, and it decides, if I do not have this information, how do I request this information? And that allows us to separate what to do and how to do it. The other thing I really like about this approach is these versions. So if you see here, there are different versions. We have done 117 versions of the dental agent now. And let me take two versions. I'll take this, and I'll say compare. And now you know exactly which lines were changed, which means that in production, when you have 20, 30 people working on these agents, on different agents, someone goes and makes an edit and it breaks the agent, you can revert back to the previous version. Second, you can go and see exactly what was changed and make slight refinements to make it better. Third, you can copy the best blocks from different agents into other agents, increasing the speed of launching agents. And in the Copilot, non-engineers can write agent behaviors that will get added to this ASL without having to learn a new language. So our goal is to allow non-engineering folks on your team to be able to create and launch agents that are deterministic in nature, while the dev team can focus on things like evals, things like performance, things like scaling, and so on. This is what makes Twig agents support the long tail of verticals that you have. When you create an agent in Twig, they are automatically available through chatbots, either in a Copilot, command bar, or sidebar model, or as a search bar, fully email automation, fully built in, phone, APIs, MCPs, and also within chat, we also have video avatars. So you can use HeyGen, Lemon Slice, or you can even use something like splines that are free, whereas the other two have API costs associated. So this is what makes Twig a very robust production grade platform. Love to show you more and see how we can power your long tail of verticals. Thanks.